Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families and the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
Good morning, everybody. I can't even keep track of days. It's Tuesday, although it took many people to tell me that. There's so much going on. It's all good. Mostly good. With us, in our little bubble, there's a lot of good things going on. Outside of our bubble, there's horrible things going on, particularly in Washington and with Trump crazy town and the mooch gone and all that. That's all ridiculous. With us and our little small part of the universe, things are awesome, actually. Really freaking awesome. I have a lot to tell you. A lot of things are happening very fast. I will buffer all of it with, we've been here before, even farther than this point, although not this exciting with everything happening all at once. It really does feel like a movie. It's very cool. It's either the end of the world or the end of the corporate age and the continuation of the world. But it feels like kind of both at the same time with the magnitude of what's going on. And so we have been here before, but I'm going to tell you all of the exciting news. Let's say hi to everybody first, and then we're going to go talk to everybody. We got Steve Collins here. We got Markus. We got Dennis. And yeah, the cover, though, is a Krispy Kreme meme, which is huge. Like, I think he's bigger than Anthony Weiner at this point with his memeage. And the reason he's the card is because and it's unfortunate that it's a bad or not a very good, it's not a very good resolution. But if you're going to put him anywhere, and listen, I'm not fat shaming. I'm just pointing out a beautiful example of gluttony in a literal sense, as well as, you know, like, I mean, he's a national glutton. He really is. And that's not a good thing. You know, there's like, I'm a glutton for punishment, or I'm a glutton for excitement. No. That means that's not a good thing. You don't want that. And just, he over the weekend, he was at a game. He likes to go to baseball games. He likes to use taxpayer services. I wonder if he pays for those games or if we're buying those tickets. Of course we're buying those tickets. We pay for the guys, you know, New Jersey pays for his wage. Anyway, he was getting booed and heckled, which is the result of his being a douchebag and doing a shitty job for New Jersey. That's what happens. When you're a public servant and you do a shitty job, people are going to boo and heckle you. That's what you get. I mean, what do you expect? So he got into a fan's face about it, saying, oh, you want to be a big shot. It's like, no, we just want you to realize that you suck and that you could respond better. You could stand up and say, you know what? You're right. I am a douchebag and a glutton, this time for punishment. But really what I am is a glutton for things that help for me. Everything got to be about me. And that's what he embodies. And you see that in his body, literally. Sorry, it's there. I'm going to call it what it is. So that's the cover. If you're going to put Crispy anywhere, that's it. But his memeage is huge, and none of it's good. There's a lot of other Krispy Kreme memes and other Chris Christie memes out there that are far worse than that one. So he's lucky. And look, all my camera shots are messed up because Dennis popped out, and now I gotta fix that. I used to have people on camera, but no longer. One moment. And no, it doesn't mean it's all Dennis's fault. I haven't even said hi to everybody. Jeez, hang on. There's 38 of you watching. Good morning, Keith and Jupiter and Schultze and Kat. Hi, Kat. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you very much. I don't know who else. I got a Density. Exploding Kittens, thank you so much for this. I have a copy already. If you have not played Exploding Kittens, it is a wonderful family game. Yeah, I think it's a wonderful family game. And I didn't know that there is a expansion set for Exploding Kittens, which is Imploding Kittens. Get the family game. Enjoy it. From Matthew Inman, creator of The Oatmeal. He's amazing. So, thank you very much, Dennis. Thank you all for your donations. Linda D, for your donation. I got some really exciting news about donations and the fact that soon, if you want to donate, you'll be able to write that off on your taxes. But first, I guess say hi to some more people. Hi, Melissa and Janine, and hello, Denise, and hello, Jilly Love. How are you? And what? What are we talking about? Bald hat? What? Hey, Andreas. Hey, German the Third. Nice to see you. Luis, how are you doing? All right, I don't know whose names I missed. Randy, how are you? Hi, Ima. How are you? Linda. Okay. I've said hi to some. Ellis, how are you? We'll say hi to more people in a minute. Let's get through our introductions. Of course, we have. I'm going to go with Marcus first. We have Marcus, the Berner German. How you doing, Marcus?
Good morning, John. Good morning, Stevie. And hey, Mooch. How are you? Of course. Good morning, America.
I gotta be honest. I'm so separated from the stories I don't even get the reference, but it's funny regardless. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Steve's laughing a lot. And I didn't even smoke. Yeah, that's right. Steve hasn't even gotten high yet. He's laughing his ass off. He's having a good old time over there.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez, this isn't working out. There we go. There we go. That was beautiful. You guys.
Oh
so I'm just looking at the eating 45's hair. Good God.
Someone call the ambulance, maybe.
The chat's having a good. That you guys. So yeah. I get that reference if that's where we're going.
Thank you. I'm around. Thank you.
You guys. So, again, with the Germans and the ratings. Thank you so much, Marcus. That was phenomenal. We also have Dennis, who is Marcus is the Bernin German. Dennis is the Turkin German. How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Hey. Yeah. Sorry, I have to calm self my down after this sketch from Markus. I was literally dying from my heart laughing about that. Hey, it's fine. I have good news. It's my personal life. I have several appointments today for a new job and so on, and my life is going on well at the moment. And yeah, guys, let's start with the show.
Yay, wonderful. That's great news. Everybody's got good news today. Marcus, you have any good news to share?
Good news to share. The mooch is gone, and I think it was the biggest laugh I had yesterday. And
yes,
yeah, wonderful. And wasn't he the guy who said, "I will fire you all"? And now he's gone. And we were seeing the card at the beginning, and if you look at Chris Christie and the Donuts, it came to me in mind if they once planned to make a remake of The Simpsons with real actors, then I think Chris Christie had a good chance to get the role of Homer, and maybe Sean Spicer can play Bart Simpson. I think you should think about it.
Who plays Bart?
Sean Spicer.
Oh God.
He has a perfect size. You know?
Cowabunga, dude. Sean doesn't have the balls to be, I mean. Anyway.
But he has time right now,
John. He has time.
Guys,
You're right.
If you see the ambulance, the person coming in my room because I don't get enough air to breathe because I'm laughing like hell. Guys, stop with this.
Okay, that's ridiculous. You guys, okay. Wait.
Let's be serious now.
Yes, let's be serious for one moment because we do that all the time on this show. Please. Let's move on with all the other good news. Anyway, Christy, good the mooch, that was in the headlines, but whatever. It's not honestly, it's not that important. Let's just have fun watching House Trump fall apart, because that's what's going on, really. What are we at on my rundown? What's the next? Wait, Christie's the first things. We talked about that. There's a link in the description, everybody. Just so you know, there's links to everything in the description. That's how we credit all of the content that we use for the show. Please click on those links, share that content, reference it, make fun of it. There's a link to a great blog that just updates you daily. It's the Daily Christie. Updates you daily on the bullshit going down around Chris Christie. So if you really want to keep in touch with that, you can watch that. Again, this was just related to the baseball thing. What's the next thing? What is that up there? I don't remember now. Oh, right. Okay, so go back to my card, the awake card. I gotta figure it out. All right. So we talk about events. All right, leave it there for a second. Hang on. There's so much happening, guys. So much happening. I'm doing a terrible job of keeping shit straight. We're going to be cutting down on the Awake show by another day, just so that the other Awake shows don't suck so bad, basically. Here's what's going down. We the People with Topher Brennan is not going to happen tomorrow because it's going to be 110, 111 degrees here. And it'll be that temperature, well, around that temperature, around when the show would have started, which is ridiculous. So that's bad. So we're going to, I don't know when we've rescheduled with Topher, but we're going to. And so that sucks. On the 12th, there's an event happening in Iowa with Scott Galindez. That's not far away. That's August 12th. You guys think it might be far away, but for me, in terms of getting things ready to go and all the stuff that has to happen, that's really close. Scary. And it wouldn't bother me so much. Wouldn't be so scary if it weren't for the fact that Scott just confirmed this morning that we will have Nina Turner. She will be in the hangout. And she will be with us, which means, of course, that day it will be a record high in the morning, and my internet will be down. But no stress, no pressure.
How can you find sleep, John, with these thoughts, with this thinking?
It's only because we've had these. This is you guys got to understand that we had this has been a long time coming. More than a year ago, we had already confirmed that we were booking Nina Turner as a guest on We the People. And right before we were able to confirm a date and get on with it, everything had to collapse because Janine had to go be a big part of the Bernie campaign in Rhode Island. And so that we just stopped because with her unavailable, We the People was just not going to happen, and the booking stopped, and so this was supposed to. I mean, I'm just and the fact that we're just bringing her into the system and showing her what's going on, and she's presenting at an event. Basically, she's going to come through the hangout. They're going to put her on the screen, and she's going to talk to the people at the event there through our network, and that's really, in the sense of it, that's tiny. Other networks do this shit all the time. But for us, that's huge. That's huge. As a volunteer networks that's been just doing this stuff together, nickel and diming it, thanks to you guys for 2 years. That's huge. Right. So that's a big event, and I'm looking forward to doing that and then getting it over with and not fucking it up. Which you know how that goes. Anyway. Eclipse the Establishment is the next thing I want to talk about, and that's happening on the 21st, the weekend of the 21st. Monday, actually, is the date of the eclipse, the national eclipse in the United States. Ashley Terry has been working on concept artwork. No, actually, this is concept. This is where we're at here. This is the event poster, event card we're working on right there. Eclipse the Establishment. That's beautiful work by Ashley Terry. And, yeah, we're looking at maybe getting some shirts and maybe finding a way to get you guys some of those shirts if you donate to a candidate. Okay, so we're going to do a stream-a-thon on that day. We already talked about that. We're going to do a stream-a-thon with the eclipse. We're going to show the sun, the eclipse. But this gets better. So what I want to do is make it a fundraiser for candidates. And so we'll be promoting, donating whatever amount you can, $2, $5, $10, to a candidate of your choice. You send us a proof of donation, a screen capture, or whatever. A lot of these systems, once you do it, you can share with your friends that you just donated to whatever candidate, so it's automatic there. And you know, hashtag it with whatever we're doing that day, like Eclipse the Establishment, and we will dedicate a song. You can tell us, I want you to play this song out of our music list. Right? Or you can have a song dedicated to the candidate, or for a particular cause, right? Dedicate the song Fight for 15, go Jeff Erdman, right? So we want to make it something to encourage the candidates. Even better, add on to this, that I finally got a chance to talk with Joyce Essig at LiveView. And in light of something else I'm about to tell you, she is willing to renegotiate our relationship. We are keeping the LiveView solo for now. And we are going to use that on the Eclipse Day with Ashley Terry here in, well, probably in his backyard or in my backyard, Corvallis or Albany. And he's got super badass, incredible cameras and stuff. And he actually knows how to use them. And there are apparently an array of amazeball shots and things to see and pick up with different lenses and whatnot for this eclipse. And he is going to be delivering that to a YouTube channel via the solo. And we are going to try to do more than 720p because we can. So we'll be bringing that shot to you. It'll be brought to you by the LiveView solo. And in part of our relationship, once we get this other thing worked out at the end of August, in September, we're hoping through Joyce that we will end up with a bigger unit, an LU200. He said bigger unit. This would be a unit that plugs into a wall AC, right? So that we can do longer events. We can. It's just a bigger unit, and then we'll just work with them as a promotional partner. And so that's pretty fucking cool. It is very, very cool, Density McCartney. Thank you, Louise.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Real Jingy, how much did you miss? A fuck ton if you just showed up. I done spewed a lot real fast. That's what I did today. And we're not done. We're not even done. But wait, there's more. There's more. This, by the way, on the card is entitled What Up with Uphill. Shows nonprofit. See that word in there? Nonprofit. Solo and connections. We're not even done. Not even done. Shows, we had the PDPO show on Sunday, which was the first of its kind. Larry Taylor did that, and that was pretty awesome. Larry Taylor also did something else pretty awesome. Same day, later on, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he sat down and talked with me and looked over all of the nonprofit documents that we had already created with Janine and Scott way back when we were ready to turn this into a nonprofit to begin with. And Larry looked at the feasibility study that we did later on. And Larry said, why don't we just make it a nonprofit? And then Ashley and Laura were willing to sign on to that. And so while we are doing Eclipse the Establishment, that weekend, we will also be formalizing, hopefully, a nonprofit. Once that's established, we can work directly on a professional level with the PAC that Larry's organization has, which is the Oregon Progressive Caucus, PDPO, and other campaigns, which we are already talking with about, and other organizations that are also nonprofits. And the first order of business is to put this shit in another building that's climate controlled with solid ass internet. Somewhere near me. That's it. All right.
It sounds like the Enterprise, right?
It does. It does. What do you think of that shit, guys?
Speechless. There are so guys. We got to make it somehow. We must make it happen. There is no other chance. And if we can really make it, and I hope so. this would be absolutely awesome for our future.
Be fantastic. And that means, everybody, that you can donate and write it off. That's the big, for you guys, like everybody that's been sending money and all this stuff. Now you can say, I sent that fuck money and he did a terrible show today. No, whatever. But you can do that. We're going to be able to expand and grow. I am pretty happy, Jupiter Judy. It's pretty badass. That everybody that all this fell into place when it did. It's pretty amazing. What'd you say, Dennis?
And also it may be an opener for us to get more and more interviews and so on. And we can say, hey, we are official a broadcast company, like, I don't know, non-profit. Guys, we're doing this interviews and so on. Maybe it's something to say, hey, we are professionals and so on and so on. So we get more views, we get more interviews and so on.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's the hope. We'll have to, well, there's other things in the works that have been talked about. Like Dave Z, Zen Master, he's got, what is that place called? Action Networks. He's been working on that. He's working on a website for us. Right? These things are all big things we can put into place. The Action Network is a place we can use to do a lot of stuff to grow our network. So, gonna be awesome. File for right to broadcast live events. Yeah. See that shit too, Eco. That's all that stuff. How, that's all that stuff comes. But I'm going to be more focused. The nice thing about this is the whole goal is to let me focus on this. I'm not interested in a businessy aspect. I'll do, what I want to do. Anyway, it's happening. If the real Jing, I love the idea. Can you do audio? Sure. You have to get involved with Slack. We have to get you trained on how things work. I mean, it starts, anybody can be a part of this group, whether we're a nonprofit or not. It starts with joining the Slack and being a volunteer and learning the ropes. This is a meritocracy. Right? And it's always been that way from the beginning. This is a functioning media network, and that's how it goes. So you come in, you learn how to do everything. You start by sweeping the floors.
And for months, guys, for months.
Luckily, it's virtual floors, right?
It's absolutely great to join the community, and you should do it.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, these are all big things. Hopefully this is what happens. The mooch thing that we already talked about, and thank you for the wonderful reference, Marcus. The thing that I found most funny about it was a Spinal Tap reference, because he's like a drummer. Spinal Tap, they just come in and out because so many different people are it's like a revolving door White House of employees. They can't keep their jobs. And the more this happens, the more this happens, the less people are going to want those jobs. We already see that they have a problem filling roles anyway. Nobody works for the Trump administration because their record will be fucked. They know this, Oh, Wesley, Mr. Ellis, Ellis Scott there. Seeds are on the way. And Density, I'm going to send you some seeds, but I'm going to get a special package as well. So if there's anybody else at this point that wanted seeds that hasn't received them at this point, I forgot. So send me another email at info@bernie2016.tv. That's something else I'm hoping to put in place once we get this nonprofit going, is to somebody to work. And I'm serious about this. I want the nonprofit to file for a grower's license. And I want to be able to grow cannabis as part of the way the nonprofit earns money. And I mean, that right there could be a barter and trade for volunteers. That could be something we have volunteers take care of, that they're doing for the network, that can be used to provide medicines to people that need it, that can be used to just say, here, we're paying you an ounce for your week, right? That's, and there's no, I don't know if there's any laws that say nonprofits can or can't do that. I don't know. But there's no reason why. I think that's something we should invest in. I think we should show that more businesses are willing to do that, and invest in that as part of their program, because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Why the fuck not? I'm sure there's a business equivalency that I'm not thinking of because I hate fucking business. So there's, I'm just saying. I want to do that. What's that email again, Davey Z? It's info@Bernie2016TV. Info@Bernie2016.tv. Yes, it is a .tv. Okay. What's next? I want to. Do we? Where are we at here? No, next. This is the. If you didn't see it, where's my slide? If you didn't see the PDPO show, Larry's show, go back to the slide. That one. This. If you haven't seen this, take a screenshot, and I pushed it out in Twitter this morning. This is how we take power. It's like the game. It's like a game. All right. You earn XP. You level up. You start off as a registered voter. You learn how the shit works. You go to a meeting. You level up. You become a precinct committee person. You learn more. You vote on things. You do work. You gain XP. You level up. You go to as a delegate, as a state party organization, or as a county official. You run for a county office like commissioner or water board, whatever. Right? That's how this happens. Oh, I'm really loud there. That's how this happens. Right? And it's a game. It really is. Gain XP, level up, take power, learn new spells, gain new weapons, play the game of democracy, except it's not a game, it's for fucking real. And you're saving the planet. That's the end game, right? The big boss is at the top, the military-industrial complex, which really is in equivalency the size of a game boss in terms of ridiculousness of what we're going to have to deal with, right? And we've got all these other bosses in between. So to the millennials out there, just think of this as one big fucking game that you have to win or you die. But at least we have a roadmap. That's a roadmap to taking over your state party. That's not a lot of levels, if you notice. I mean, there's a lot of side branches in all of that in terms of power structure, but it's not a lot of levels or tiers of structure. You know? It's just something to consider. I need a power mushroom or not, right? Well, listen, if you really want to put the whole thing to that, our politicians are using drugs all the time. Our politicians get the equivalency of power mushrooms and doing backwards deals or shaking, networking, right? There's also, I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's all there. Anyway, it was a great episode. Larry taught us a lot about a lot of things. So watch it if you haven't. If you're in Oregon, share that and mention, hey, this is for Oregon. Get involved, right? What's next? I had a link to the map of the eclipse thing here. There's a couple good resources in the description to this eclipse. So if you guys look at that map, at first I was thinking I was going to have to send Scott on a bus somewhere, but now I know we're just going to have Ashley do this. It's really cool. But you find out where the eclipse is near you. Did I do another eclipse? No, scroll down. Do they have any maps? There's the band. You see that, guys? It's not. Yeah. It really covers this small band in the United States, which is why everybody's like, wow. Right? There. Mm-hmm. And lucky for us, Oregon right there in that really fuzzy small picture. So, but nobody's going to be able to move anywhere that weekend. We're stuck here, basically. All right. The other thing that I had on the card was connections. What's up with Uphill? New connections. And here's one of those new connections with the political revolution on Reddit. Oh, that's really huge and crazy. Actually, Eddie Wants Coffee, who's been a longtime volunteer, one of the original volunteers for Bernie 2016 TV, he's a Redditor, and he is one of the subreddit monitor. He's a moderator on this Reddit. Go to the next thing. This Reddit right here, Political Revolution, and they today they already had this. This was this morning at 11 Eastern. Was Paula Jean Swearingen doing an AMA. Which is like a really slow conversation because it's all in text. But a lot of people like those things, and they do it. And the reason I'm pointing it out is because I think you can go back and look at this when it's done, right? So we can go see the conversation. Bye, Ima. See ya. Janine Rout, you won't be able to see it in Maine. I don't think so. You're gonna have to join us online and watch it from our beautiful image captured by Ashley Terry on the Live View Solo. Anyway, we've made other new connections, and we're making more, and that's really cool. That and it's not just us. Like all the groups now are kind of connect. It's that network we're talking about. It really is happening. It's really fucking cool. It's what we needed to see. It's what we needed to see. Wish I could. Hang on a second. Things are not in the right place. I'm all discombobulated with all this shit going down. I can't even get audio to work right today. And I don't care. There's too many good things. Too many good things. All right. You should get a partial in Maine, says Melissa H. Yeah, click on those links, because one of them is an interactive, well, it's Google Maps. So you can click on the Google map and see where the band is going to hit. You can, look at it. You can plot how long it's going to take you to walk to be within the band, which is what I thought. Scott would be like 300 kilometers away, I think, from the nearest town. Janine says, I guess I'll have to be with you and Mr. Collins. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. But we're going to have fun here. We're going to play tunes, right? We got a lot, and the music box is something that Markus has been working on, categorizing and organizing all the songs on YouTube that we can use and play, and it's just beautiful. And it actually helped me with the Pseudo Intellectuals on Sunday, because they didn't have an end song picked, because I forgot to put one in there. And they had such a great conversation with Laura Livengood, which we're going to talk a little bit about at the end of the show today. And I was like, I got to pick a song. I went to the music box. I started scrolling down. I'm like, perfect. Bam. Went right to it. So, Markus, thank you for that. It was just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's why the music box is there. And Dennis lately today asked me if he can choose a song also, and I say, of course, you're welcome. It's not only the John and Markus thingy, and most importantly would be that you don't choose any Scorpion songs. But then otherwise, we are completely open for your suggestions, of course.
Nice.
I don't have to fear it. I have the Scorpions on my wall, and that's it. But I will choose around Scorpions. So yeah.
I
was tortured when I was growing up from my grandfather is still a big Scorpions fan, and he tortured me with the music 24/7. So no.
I'm just gonna, look, every time you Germans diss the Scorpions, I'm going to add another song to the rotation for the Eclipse Day of the Scorpions.
And the funny thing is, guess who will delete it again?
And you do control. Nice. Anyway, all right, moving on. Listen, we all know that John McCain is a war hero, and we all appreciate the fact that he went off and did terrible things and was caught, and then was a POW and was tortured and abused, and that's horrible and shouldn't happen to any human being. But that doesn't make him any less an asshole. I just want to clarify. He was an asshole before we had a whole new level of asshole. We got a whole new level of asshole with 45. Just unhinged, insane. The gang that had been waiting to come in, what the Tea Party had been planning for a long time ago. Right? This was their insurgents. This is what they brought to the table. They took over the Republican Party, and they brought us 45. All right. Thank you. Perfect. This is just a few things that The Intercept has listed, reminding us of who McCain was before he was being beat up on Twitter by 45. Right? When he became the victim of somebody who was even more horrible than he was, we were like, my God, McCain is just not that bad compared to this douchebag piece of shit. Poor John. John was a dick, okay? John was known as McNasty. I'm going to read you some of the things here. This is the guy that relentlessly agitated for an invasion and occupation of Iraq that caused the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Iraqis and led to millions of others being displaced from their homes. Remember that whole WMD thing? McCain was a big, staunch supporter of go bomb the fuck out of him. Okay? He didn't even need proof. Just like we need somebody that's the bad guy to blow the fuck out of because 9/11. Right? He was one of the major ones sounding the war call for that. Maybe it was the same sort of person who put a personal and party interest ahead of the national interest when he picked the know-nothing far-right demagogue Sarah Palin. Do you remember that? Sarah Palin was his running mate. So even if you don't think he's an asshole, he's incredibly stupid. Sarah Palin, one of the dumbest human beings to ever be on television, ever, for any fucking reason at all.
But it was the icon of the Tea Party, and McCain needed the Tea Party at that point. So this explains the pick, you know. It is stupid, of course, but it explains it.
It does. It does. Right, it does. Let's see. Meet John Sidney McCain III. He's a veteran Republican senator from Arizona and former GOP presidential candidate. Yes, he did endure all that bullshit and torture. His nickname, though, was McNasty in high school, and he has a long documented history of temper tantrums and vicious bullying. These are some great quotes. Did you know why, this is from him, did you know why Chelsea Clinton is so ugly? Because Janet Reno is her father, he joked in a 1998 Republican fundraiser to anti-war protesters. Anti-war protesters, low-life scum. To fellow Republicans, Charles Grassley, fucking jerk. And Peter Dominici, asshole. All right? He once compared the president of Iran to a monkey and still insists on calling his Vietnamese captures gooks. I mean, nobody uses these terms anymore. It's unnecessary. It's wrong. Right? He's a dick. So the point to all of this is that the media does this in defense of McCain because you do have to defend him when 45 is attacking him. Okay. On the other hand, they forget to provide context. Right? We don't normalize McCain's assholery because we found a new level of assholery. Right? That doesn't mean McCain's level fine. That's how we got to where we are. Well, this level of government corruption is fine because it's, you know, look at what we have. I mean, we've been going in this cycle. No level of corruption is okay. No level of assholery is okay in our government. Dicks like that shouldn't have been elected in the first place. That's why we have to take back control. Anyway, I just wanted to everybody remember the real John McCain was a dick.
And you're absolutely right, because if you look at George W. Bush, in comparison to Trump, he looks like a nice guy now. This sees how far we are at what a bizarre point we are now. You know?
Yeah, it is. It's sad. Dennis?
Yeah, I only agree with what Markus was saying. You said yeah. That's all I said.
I usually do too, unless it has to do with the Scorpions.
Fuck you, John.
No. We are civilized upper media now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. The nonprofit structure. There will be a separation. Like Uphill Media will be the MCN, the top level network, like TYT. But then we'll have other channels underneath, and those channels will represent different things. This show would get put under Political Revolution TV. And we'd put PRTV underneath Uphill Media, and that would be that's where this would fit, right? Because Uphill Media has to be more like Disney. Not really. No, they don't. No, they don't. Fuck that. No way. Do I want to run this? Yeah. So just 52 years ago, last couple days, right when Trump was wanting to push forward more on the healthcare reform, we actually created Medicare. Right? And so I want to play this video. It's of Lyndon Johnson talking about it because 52 years ago, this is where our government was at. And if you listen to the way they speak, yeah, granted, they were okay with murdering hundreds of thousands of people with carpet bombs and whatnot in other places. But if you listen to the way they speak, they recognize that at least for their own citizens, they needed to be doing better, more. And we don't have a government today that recognizes that. They're not even focused on citizens. They're focused on corporations, jobs, and that's how they tie it together. Well, jobs equals citizens, and we got to separate that. Got to separate that. Just listen to this once I get it actually framed up. Lazy goddamn engineer. Here.
It was a generation ago that Harry Truman said, and I quote him,
So far,
millions of our
heard from
citizens do
Anthony
not now
Scaramucci. He's
have
not
a
done an
full
interview,
measure of
but I noticed that he
opportunity
follows me
to
on Twitter,
achieve
so
and to
I sent him a
enjoy
direct
good health.
message, and I think we have him on the phone
Millions
already.
do not now
Joining us
have protection
telephonically
or
now,
security.
former White
All right, I have no idea where that other audio is coming in from, and you can barely hear Lyndon B. Johnson. It's terrible audio. Hang on. Where is this? It's one of our other things running around there. Probably that. I don't know. We'll close that. That's another... we'll move on. My point with the whole thing is that we've been here before. I don't know what changed other than we stopped paying attention to what our politicians were doing. And the reason these things changed at the time of Lyndon Johnson was because we were in the streets pissed as fuck. So here we are again. But the lesson we didn't learn last time was that we have to continue. This doesn't ever stop. We remain active and functional in our government because we can't trust it to do good on its own. We have to monitor the employees. That's what management's for. That's what we are. We'll figure that one's playing. Close that. All right. Close that. That one. Or, no, don't close it. Mute it. That's the one. God damn. Runaway videos, it just autoplay. Hate that shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to have everything muted now in my system, and then he's going to have to unmute and show the next thing. This is why when we have things more expanded and we have more people, instead of doing this, we'll actually make graphics for each thing we're talking about. That's just more time consuming. Anyway. What about Michael Schenker Group? They only had like one good song. Jeez. I don't know. I mean, he's a good guitarist.
Michael Schenker once was caught on a live concert that he was not playing the guitar, but there was a backstage musiker behind the speaker bars who played the guitar.
Seriously?
From then on, brilliant.
That really happened?
Really happened 70s.
Wow. I had no idea. Was that in Germany
Yeah.
that he was caught?
I don't know where it was, but I saw there was a report about it, and they had exclusive photos of I think it was a roadie who played the guitar, and he was playing the air guitar on stage. And
Well, there are different people now that use backup guitarists for shit like that, but you know, that they don't actually put on stage. But that's he's supposed to be like a lead axe man. That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I mean, at least the Scorpions are legit.
can we go on, please, John? I think we have some.
Now you're doing this live with us, and even in the chat, the guys are referring to some parts of the songs, the Scorpions, and so on. Guys, stop. Stop it.
What? What?
Listen, also, I can see that. See, this is the other thing. If this is going to happen on the 12th, I got Comcast right now dicking me around with my bandwidth, dropping it, coming back up. I know you guys are seeing max headroom shit. I got to get that fixed. There was Comcast man out at the pole yesterday doing shit. They know it's a problem. This stuff has to be in a building. This stuff has to be on a hard line from, a business class line that isn't messed with in the middle of the road. No stress. No stress about the 12th. You can't even.
I see little clouds of smoke coming out of your ears right now. I hope it's not worrying.
Yes. They're legit crap, cat. No, you guys don't. That's one thing we won't tolerate in this volunteer network is dissing the Scorpions. That doesn't happen. It's on the Holy Commandments. Moving on to other, if we're going to have a volunteer network and do it American, it's got to have dogma, right? All right. Moving on to other things that actually don't matter. I just wanted to bring it up for a joke. WikiLeaks released some time ago, actually, a whole bunch of emails from Emmanuel Macron's presidential campaign, and nobody seems to give a fuck. You know why? He didn't rig his primary. He didn't cheat. I mean, even if he did cheat, he didn't cheat outrageously, or he did a good job of cheating and got away with it. Nobody questioned it. That's what happens when you have a democracy that's functional. Regardless of what you think of the French and where they sit in their democracy, it seems to work for elections because no one gives a fuck what was in these things. Like, whatever, guys, look at Hillary's. So anyway, just congratulations, WikiLeaks. I'm glad you released them. I'm sure there's dirt in there that we care about, but it's not going to be anywhere near as good as the Hillary emails ever. Sorry. It's a Al Capone's vault comparatively. Anyway, Rocky, you guys are still. Which, listen, that song, "Rock You Like a Hurricane," which was their big commercial success, which I'm sure is Marcus's hates worse than anything else.
I just want to quote a very famous man. I'll all fire you.
You'll all fire us?
Yeah.
What?
All those in chat who are quoting songs.
Nice. Laura's
There's
totally
Laura.
lurking.
And there's
Hey, Laura,
Laura.
how you doing?
Laura, please help.
The video for "Rock You Like a Hurricane" was the dumbest video I'd ever seen in my life. What was the fucking point? I mean, if you're going to be dumb, at least make it interesting dumb, right? Like Total Eclipse of the Heart, which makes no fucking sense, which is why you watch it. Like, what is going on in this goddamn video? You know? But "Rock You Like a Hurricane," you're just like, they're just moving the cage. Oh, they're just moving the... When are they going to stop? That's it. They're moving the fucking cage. Makes no goddamn sense. "Rock You Like a Hurricane." Why is there a cage? I don't get it. Why couldn't they at least put them out on a fucking boat? Made it look like they were in a hurricane. On a boat with their amps and their guitars. Would have been great. I didn't get the video. Anyway. Yes.
Why didn't they put them? Why didn't they put them in a hurricane? This would have made sense.
I know, you're like, they would have died and everybody would have cheered in Germany. Root for the national holiday. Scorpions are dead day. And the Americans would have flown flags at half-mast.
I will kill myself if we go any further.
What, Dennis?
I said, guys, let's stop with the topic. Otherwise, I will leave and kill myself.
Oh, please down. Please down. There are way worse reasons to be doing that. All right, we're going to move on to some Bernie, and Bernie's going to make us feel a little better, but he's also going to talk about net neutrality. Okay, so Bernie's just going to give us a reality update, really. Do we have everything not talking anymore? Good, we shut them up. Here we go. This Facebook video should function.
I know that everybody is worried about a whole lot of things. We're talking about healthcare now. We're talking about Trump and the Russians and God knows what else. But there is a very important issue out there that I hope you don't sweep under the rug because it is of just profound significance to our country and the dissemination of information. And that deals with net neutrality. Net neutrality is about is that everybody in our country has the same access to the same information, that the internet remains free of corporate control. And that is vitally important because we're looking at a world in which fewer and fewer large media conglomerates control what we read, what we see, and what we hear. And the internet has been a very powerful antidote to that type of corporate control. When the FCC took steps to preserve net neutrality in 2015, it was the result of grassroots activism, i.e. you, millions of Americans who stood up and fought back and demanded that the FCC protect an open and free internet. That victory ensured that the internet remains a space for the open exchange of ideas and information, free of discrimination and corporate control. In other words, it remained a tool by which small businesses had the same opportunities as large multinational corporations, as somebody putting out a blog concerned about politics or news had the same opportunities as CNN or CBS. That's a big deal, and we cannot afford to lose that. As you know, the telecom industry now and Trump's FCC are trying to undo the progress that we've made. What the telecom industry and their friends, including the FCC chairman, Mr. Pai, are trying to do is to change the fundamental architecture of the internet, to divide the internet into slow lanes and into fast lanes, and to restrict information and content. They want to allow big corporations like Comcast, AT&T, and Verizon to control content online. And needless to say, that would give preference to the news outlets that they like, including NBC, which they own, and stick independent media with slow speeds or restrict competing outlets completely. And national retailers could buy greater access to customers while mom and pop stores are left in the dust. Since its inception, the internet has been an extraordinary tool of democracy. It has allowed the dissemination of ideas and enabled entrepreneurs to build companies. At this moment, when our democratic institutions are in peril, when they're under severe attack in every sense from the Trump administration, ending net neutrality protections would be devastating. Now more than ever, we need a free and open internet. Now is the time to stand together and stop this attempt to auction off the internet to the highest corporate bidders, to dismantle protections that keep the internet a space for the open exchange of ideas and information and free of discrimination. Let's stand up, let's fight back, and let's protect net neutrality. Thank you.
A great message, even if your ears are bleeding at this point. I apologize for that sound spike. That's the editing team at the Bernie Sanders videos on Facebook group who decided to put that music in there and not bother to check and see just how much louder it was than Bernie Sanders, who was talking about this loud at that point. So yeah, it was bad. Sorry, guys. And yes, right now, my Comcast connection continues to dip and drop and bounce back up, and it's not having a good time. And yes, I would love to say that I'm paying for a service and I should expect it, but you know, that's expecting Comcast to be honest. We know that's not going to happen, right? So at some level, you got to pay enough to get it. I personally, you know, the only way we change this, Bernie Sanders can write all the legislation he wants. It's getting corrupt politicians to sign it, which isn't going to happen. Right? We either pressure them to do the right thing, or we replace them, and then those people do the right thing. Unfortunately,
John?
there's no easy way. Yes?
I would like to add a little two system of internet. One fast lane and one harder for someone who wanted to build up a new business to build it up. Because in today's economy, you need internet. And for example, if I want to start a business and I don't have the money to pay the faster lane, it will stifle me. I will not be able to grow my business so easy like it is today.
Yep.
For example, because Trump is always talking, oh, economy here, economy there, we want to have a growth of 5% every year and so on. But if you think it through, I think it will hinder some people to start.
Piece of it, we know that today, and this is one way to do that. You know, you want to start a business, and you got to have these services. I mean, it's already, there's already throttling in existence right now. We can, that's already a difference. My residential isn't guaranteed, obviously. Right, the connections are varying right now. Anti-lag is being triggered. I have no idea what you guys are seeing. Right. This is a typical day right now. We're not in prime time. Imagine if this were 6 p.m. on the East Coast. Right? I mean, that's what we're talking about. Right when We the People happens, or right when Nina Turner comes on. God damn it! You know.
Stop it.
I figure if I say it enough, the universe will put it out there that it won't goddamn happen. Anyway, I just want to make a couple comments. Aaron Willington says, there's a gamer I watch. He has 500,000 subscribers. He's involved in fighting for net neutrality. He says legislators keep trying to sneak bad legislation in. Yeah. Because they understand, listen, it's all about controlling the message for the people that are in power. They used to have control of the message because there used to be no internet. And so it's very easy to control networks. And they wrote legislation. They repealed the Fairness Doctrine. They installed the Telecom Act to make sure that the networks and them work together, right? We need ratings money, advertisers make money. Well, we need to stay in power. What a great relationship. That's all been fucked by the internet. And this election cycle has proven, this 2016 election cycle showed them they no longer had control of the narrative, that the narrative could be controlled through the net. And so where do they go? Well, we need to cut that fucker off. Okay. They know that if they can control our access to that information, then we can no longer control the narrative for the public. And that's what we're battling for, is to control the narrative. My thought is that we need a publicly funded internet. We need to launch satellites through SpaceX that we fund on our own. We form some kind of a nonprofit that just crowdsources it, funds it. We provide access to people that pay for it. I think we need to create a public company. I don't think our government's going to get around to doing it before we can. I think we could do that. We can now launch hundreds of very small satellites inexpensively to take care of comms globally. And I've run stories on this technology. And so it's very within the realm of reason, and I think it would be in the best interest of all of us if we did this outside of our governments, right? But that's just me. I'm just me. I just want to drop that in there. So Randy says, I noticed that Hulu and Pandora are both having large outage areas on both the east and west coast on their own maps. Maybe they're related. Maybe so. Maybe so. And maybe. I mean, overall, we could be missing some other things. I mean, it could be climate change, heat that's affecting this, heat wave coming through here, right? It could just be old and outdated gear and stuff. It could just be the number of people involved in that. I mean, there's a lot of reasons this stuff could be happening just besides Comcast being assholes. I vote for Comcast being assholes, but, just want to throw that out there. I know where new technologies are for internet and green energy. It's waiting for... It's waiting and suffering for approval. Eco, I agree. There's faster Wi-Fi technologies that are out there waiting for bandwidth approval, waiting for FCC to, they just approved certain frequencies for use. Now we're waiting for companies to get involved. It's all backed up in bureaucracy. I know it. I know it. There's much better technologies out there, right? Solar flares are high. That figures. That actually figures density. We're coming up on an interesting event that, whether you look at it from the quantum physics side of things, the mysticist side of things, the mystical, look at it that way, metaphysics, or just as an observer with your eyeballs, going to be pretty badass. There's a lot of stuff going on, coalescing energies and stuff. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Solar flares, old lines in your neighborhood. It could be, I'm in the rural area. Mine are above ground lines. 100 degrees. Heat fucks with resistance. Heat adds resistance. So, heat is resistance, actually. Expressed in thermal. And anyway, what is this? Oh, yeah. Bernie Sanders just had a good response to Trump complaining about threatening to strip Congress's health insurance, which we all thought was a good idea, and it's Trump trying to look great. And it's just like, why don't we just give everybody what they have? Just kind of what we've been saying. Why don't you just get everybody the same? We won't have this problem. Be done. Yeah. Anyway, what's next? Bernie introduced a bill that apparently would save us billions, and I think it's a great bill. Save the federal government more than $6 billion if basically it just forces health insurance companies to set fair prices. Pretty easy to tell that the free hand of capitalism, Adam Smith's bullshit, isn't working when your government is too corrupt to pass legislation that needs to be passed to force healthcare pharmaceutical companies to charge fair prices. That's a pretty good circle of whoops in terms of capitalism functioning in your government structure right there. That's a lot of energy being wasted on something that never should have happened in the first place. That's why nationalize healthcare. Anyway, just what's next? What's on the Sorry. I should have had this pulled up here. Thank you. You're doing great. Healthcare. Do not estimate. Didn't I have another Bernie video, or is that the one we had to close? Shit. All right. Bernie just tells everybody not to underestimate the Democratic establishment. This article is actually a great reference to that. But before I get there, Marcus, Dennis, you guys have any input on this? I've kind of been babbling for a while.
On this special topic, or
on anything
in general,
at all. Just in general.
On the political situation. I found a very interesting article 2 days ago in Die Zeit. I put it in my Facebook account. It's about the data security and how we can reclaim our data back. And John and we already talked about it, and I think John is a little bit, from my perception as a German, too naive what his data concerns or data in general concerns, which are taken by Google or other companies, Amazon, Facebook, and there are countless names. And as I said, in my opinion, they should pay us for taking our data and be honest with us what happens with our data, and they are not. And I think there should be laws made against the misusage of our data, because my argument is that you don't leave your house without closing the door, and exactly this is what you are doing with the data on your computer. They are visible, they are traded, and it is absolutely bizarre, in my opinion and in my perception, that this is allowed and this is tolerated, and we should end this.
Guys, you Germans both feel that way, huh?
Yeah. And also, guys, you have to not to forget that the big data that they are collecting, they're selling also to insurance companies, and especially in America. So this will be the end of the whole thing, and they will not listen to you. They will look at their data and see, hey, 10 years ago you have this and this, and 2 years ago you have this and this, and therefore you will be, if the system will be like you have today and will going on, you will pay higher premiums and so on as a result of this. Just an example how this big data can be used against you. Yes.
Yeah.
And not to forget, it could misuse in a political way. If you are candidating for a certain office, it would be easy for interested people to block your attempts and to collect dirty data if available.
But if you've got dirty data, then you shouldn't be running for office.
You know, there could be private data which are only meant to be private, and which could sabotage your effort, because the public opinion about this could be different. For example, if you would be a gay people but didn't out a gay person but didn't out yourself in your local area where you're running for, and somebody finds out and smears you, this could end the political career in this for you or for this person.
Well, I understand with the concept, but your scenario is a bit faulty, because I think in today's age that wouldn't be that smear would be the end of the other person's political career.
I think of a very conservative area to take it like this.
Poland, you're running in Poland.
You're running in Poland, exactly.
I guess you know. Once we get past all of this and we've raised everybody up to a level of basic needs, there's not going to be a lot of screaming about privacy in that sense. I don't, and there won't be a lot of need to data mine. I agree with you guys on the idea that we should be paid for our data collection, but you don't feel like Google is repaying us through the use of a badass internet that keeps upgrading itself and that all these other, I mean, no.
No.
I mean, you understand. No. I don't think you understand. The internet is simply connectivity between things.
Yeah.
The indexing of the internet has been done by the Google search engine, which is the most advanced, intelligent, functioning artificial intelligence that is becoming a brain. And I don't internet experience, and how fucking shitty your internet experience would be without it. we're dipping down to anti-lag. But really, what would you offer instead of the Google search engine that we have now and all of the platform services that derive their existence from it?
Okay, apart from that, I don't use any Google products apart from this Hangout because it doesn't work any with other devices. Obviously, I don't use any Google products. I use DuckDuckGo and other search engines, and I don't give my data. I try not to give my data to anyone. And I know it is nearly hopeless, but I'm trying to keep my privacy private, because
too late.
Yeah, I know.
Can I just? It's you're attempting right now to keep your privacy private is about the same as thinking stopping driving your car and riding a bicycle is going to do everything you need it to do to prevent climate change. You're about 20 years behind the ball.
Okay. It might be naive, but in the end, does this question my argument about this all? If you see that big companies are so powerful that they get over the laws of countries, of democracies, I think this is not very democratic. If they make facts without seeing countries with different laws, you know.
Agreed. We need to upgrade our relationship. There needs to be a global law regarding the internet. I agree with that, and there's a long way to go with that. Does it invalidate your argument? No. Does it make your resistance silly? Yes.
Maybe, but anyway, I won't leave the door open when I leave my house.
Jim says I'm
and
wrong,
I don't
John.
and I don't do it with the internet also. I'm trying. I cannot do more than trying. You know. It might be naive. It might be 20 years back, but I'm doing it.
All right. I don't see any reason why we should fight it. It's going to become our collective conscious, and it's going to surpass what Google wants it to do. And I'm all for its data collection, so I don't really give a shit. I mean, Jesus, what do they get out of me? A lot of fucking F-bombs and fingers and language that tells them how much I hate them. It
fucking doesn't matter if they find anything. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
God damn it. I gotta say God damn it now.
Whatever. You get your
Markus, let's stop. We will never come to an agreement about this.
And here's the thing. You say, I only do the Hangout. You wouldn't even be able to do the show if we weren't relying on Google, the platform services, all the platform services.
Yes, and we met. I was complaining the first day about this, you know?
I know you were. I know you were. But you can't offer me a viable alternative that functions as well.
I'm not into the software industry, John.
Like I said. Well, I mean, but even so, if it was readily available and out there, you'd be like, oh, we can use this cloud thing and this over here and this over here and this over here and this over here and put it all together. And here's the thing. I actually tried using open source at the very beginning. I was like, let's try to patch this together using all of the non-Google stuff and the open this and open that. And you know what? It sucks balls. It all sucks. There's a reason. There's no massive advertiser dollars fueling the development of the badassery of it. Google, on the other hand, has a shit ton of money coming in from AdWords to make sure that it's got the best of the best. So let it build Skynet. It is Skynet. Is it wrong for them to be data mining us constantly? Yes. Without an agreed contract, although you do sign a terms of service when you become a Google user, and you agree to the fact that they're data mining your ass. And they say, do you agree to all these terms of service that basically say we're going to data mine your ass and you're going to like it because we're giving you this fucking internet for free? Fuck you, we're Google. And you go, just where do I sign? Where do I get in? How do I get in? You sign a terms of service with everybody. The fact that we have to do that terms of service and it's this goddamn long is something that we could change if we had power in our government.
Yes.
I'm just saying we got to work the way things work now to get to where we need to go. But to fight collective consciousness is to fight the evolution of what we are, in my mind, and that ties into quantum entanglement, which ties into this. It's all we're all connected. It's all connected. That's why it's all connected.
We will not agree on this topic, John.
Weak argument, John. The old "I have nothing to hide." It's not that I have nothing to hide. It's not that I have nothing to hide. It's not. I'm not worried about what it is. I'm not worried.
John, there's a nice saying. I think it's coming from Robert Anton Wilson. Just because you are not paranoid doesn't mean they are not behind you.
Okay. Listen. It's the they aspect. We are the they. We become the they if we work hard enough. So when you talk about they are data mining, they are doing this, they are doing... So we build our own goddamn internet. Okay? So we build it... I mean, if you really want to change it that bad, we have to take power where it's necessary to take power. At the lower level, complaining about it is kind of silly. Got to use it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Think it over. By the way, John Warren... I believe if I'm following this conversation right, John Warren is backing me in my nonsense, and there are other people who are disagreeing wholeheartedly in my nonsense, and that makes total sense. That's fine. This is internet stuff. I had a great way to segue into this. Now I forgot what it was. Randy Bryce. This article is important for a couple reasons. It's important because it basically says they don't really think he has a chance to win, regardless of how popular he is right now. Their overall sentiment is that Paul Ryan is racking it up, and Paul Ryan is actually racking it up, not only with donations, but all of a sudden, if you notice, and I forget who it was in the Slack that was noticing this, thank you for being on top of that, that all of a sudden a whole bunch of contracts be coming in for industry into Ryan's territory. And that's all part of his machine. The machine that Bryce will not have behind him, because Bryce is not, I do not believe, will be on the corporate Dem ticket. All right? He's got us. We're the machine. Scroll down all the way to the bottom of this. If it'll go down there. Is it going slow? Keep going. There's more. It's stuck. God damn this thing. At the very bottom, here we go. Says, shit, never mind. We're having problems with this thing moving around. Forget it. There's the article basically says, regardless of whether Bryce wins or not, he is an example of where the Democratic Party should be, and he's got a respectable stance that can balance Black Lives Matter and back the badge, because you can't be hard one way or the other on that. That's the problem as a politician. Black lives have to matter. That understanding what that means, understanding the amount of death being caused today by cops. But you don't just get to do what I say and run for office at his level and just blame all cops as being bad. You have to phrase it the way Randy Bryce phrased it, which was very good. He basically said, I look at it like welding. And if I do a bad weld, that's going to affect everybody else's work on this building. And if you're a worker and you see a bad weld, it behooves you to call it out. And he's pointing out that cops should be calling out the bad cops, and that cops should be encouraged to do so because it behooves them for their overall functioning of their department and the view that the public has of how they treat the public. And he says it in such a much better way than when I just say, fuck, goddamn cops piss me off. Right? That's the purpose of somebody running for office, a representative that can speak the words in the way that really balance things out and don't injure the message in any way. Right? Anyway, the pseudos was very enlightening, Julie. I agree. And yes, Melissa, bad cops make all cops look bad, in my opinion. It's just a question of good cops doing the right thing, right? Or being able to do the right thing without fear of repercussion or whatever they're worried about there, right? What were you saying, Marcus?
Absolutely. I say every pseudo-intellectual show is great, in my opinion.
They are.
Love those guys.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Bye, Jupe. Bye, Jupiter Duty. Bye. So Eco Sutra, since none of us pay for all this, how does Google make all that money they charge $5,000 a month to show up on their lesser have list? They're making a shit ton of money off AdWords, Google Ads. That's how this rocks. AdWords is their bank. And that's AdWords and AdSense are your two money makers for Google. That's how the internet is paid for. So, you know, when you go to a site and they say, please turn off your ad blocker, it's because those ads are directly tied to, I mean, that's it. Now, not all services are AdWords, but AdWords is the largest service there is, and it reaches all of Google, right? When you own the indexing of the internet, the one that 95% of the globe uses, and 50% of that is YouTube search, then your ads are worth a lot, or your ad space is worth a lot. And, you know, recently they cut down the profit that a person like me could make off a YouTube channel. They slashed that by about 90%. So they just upped their stake. Seriousness. They make a ridiculous amount of money off AdWords. I used to be in the game. I used to do that. So it's crazy. You have no idea. It's insane. Bernie with another message. Just a precautionary message. Liberals shouldn't trust Democrats. They just shouldn't. Vote by the candidate, not by the party. It's just another. We're getting harder and harder. This is the same guy that went around with the Democratic Party, right? When you're making a statement like that. My God, are we already to this? Holy shit, we already got to the. Go back to the card though. I gotta show the card. Okay. All right, I guess that's where we're at. This is going to be fun. I didn't realize we were that close. We're almost on time, but not really. Cat Stefani, yes, at least the ads are customized to what we want to see mostly. And that aspect of it was actually highly debated as being invasive, and I'm sure the Germans are freaking their shit because it is.
It is.
It's creepy, but it's also why the AI is functional. Because it's able to derive context. Not only that, but they've applied for patents that are going to be applied to Google Glass and other VR tools. Google Glass still around, by the way. It's just headed towards the pro industry. I can be looking at a web page. It'll track my eye movement. It'll know what I'm looking at. If it shows an ad and I stare at that ad, it knows. It counts as a click. Like it'll track pupil movements. It can track the dilation of the pupil to know that I have engaged with that ad visually or not. And this was all technology that I was reading about before I got involved in politics. This was 3-4 years ago. Right. So it's Minority
manipulation.
Report. What?
It's manipulation.
Absolutely. It's Minority Report. Yeah. And these ads are sent to us by Google's beautifully indexed internet based on what we click on. And sometimes it's downright frightening. What it's like, holy shit, I was just thinking about that. There it is. All right. It's retargeting in the AdWords world is brilliant. Because you see that same lamp at Lowe's 5 times, and the next time you're at Lowe's, you're buying that goddamn lamp. That's how it works.
Yes. And that's not good.
It's a better internet for everybody.
And
it's preferential. It's your internet for you, your way.
Thank you very much. No, don't thank you. No, we are not getting on the same page. Absolutely not. I love my data, and I don't want to give my data away, and not even if they pay me. And I would say okay, then make my internet not so good or make it worse. Fuck you.
Well, that's coming anyway. So.
Yeah, of course this is coming, and
they'll do that anyway.
The funny thing is, at work, I got contacted 3 times by those AdWords people, and I hope after the 3rd time they finally got that we won't take any of their stuff. And,
no ads on
very
AdWords.
Annoying. very annoying people, and they are they looked a bit like a Scientologist who are trying to push us in a certain direction just to get into their AdWords stuff, and I was so pissed about them, and I hope I made myself clear when I talked to them.
Oh. Thank you, Marcus. Steve just closed the entire... I don't know what happened here. What happened, Steve?
I was trying to bring back up the horoscope articles.
There you go.
Steve destroyed the internet?
No.
Yeah, Steve by himself destroyed the internet over here. Somebody tell Google. No, you can't do it that way. All right, I don't know. Just double click on it. There you go.
And then...
Stop it from playing.
Okay, yes, sir.
Learning experiences today on the show. It's quite all right. By the way, it's right there.
That's it now.
Anyway, guys, I'm just backing up to the chat. I have no idea what happened, Kat. I just see the remainder of the conversation. That sucks. Whatever's going on. Did Germany ban Scientologists? Soul Rebel wants to know. Did you guys?
They are under supervision of our Verfassungsschutz, of our I don't know the expression.
FBI.
FBI?
Okay,
No,
Yeah.
no, FBI would be Bundeskriminalamt. No. Anyway, they are supervised here in Germany because we don't think it's a religion, and only its only purpose is to get the money from the people, you know.
But that's all religions, guys.
John, are you trying to get me into a conversation about religion again?
No, we don't have the time. We got to get out of here. We're gonna be late already.
That's it.
We're gonna watch a couple things here. Thank you all for being with us
I will
today.
prove tomorrow that this sentence is nonsense.
All right.
What?
Well, if it's not about money, it's about control, and you can't argue that one with me. Anyway, we'll all right. I just wanted to show you this one thing because it's fucking cool, and then we're gonna end the goddamn show. I got like 3 more things left. If you guys don't know, I love flying. Right? I've always wanted to have a fly suit, Iron Man suit. Right? I always wanted to be Superman. Was my hero in the 70s when I was a kid. Steve Reeves or Christopher Reeves, Superman, not freaking whoever that guy is today. I don't even know who that is. But you seen the squirrel suits? People fly and then they have the parachutes that they let them fly around. Here's a guy who went to the highest mountain in Peru. I don't even know how high this is. Fucking insane, ridiculous. I have jumped out of a plane once in my life, and we went up to 13,000 feet, and that was the most insane rush experience. Why am I going to show you this video? Because to me, this journey, and this guy took like 5 days to hike up this mountain. You can hear him when he's up there. He's like, it's like because there's no goddamn air. Yeah, that's how high he is, right? 5 days, this incredible treacherous journey up the mountain to jump off this, and you're looking over the edge of this abyss. I'm showing this to you because that's what it feels like for us right now as we retake our democracy. We got all this goddamn work, is trudging, like 5 days just to get up a hill and go, wee. And that wee is going to be frightening as fuck, and we're going to look over the edge of the abyss and be like, this is what having power is. So I just want to show this to you so you can have this in your head. There's really very little audio. I don't even have it framed. And it's delaying.
Yeah.
Damn. It was a good setup to reload the page. We're just having all sorts of tech fun today, everybody.
John.
All right, play it.
Here we go.
When it came to technology, our founder, Herman de Vries, never settled. Instead, he formed a relationship with tech until it became his ally. At de Vries University, our students still harness the power of technology. Today, it's at our core, because it's at the core of business, healthcare, and tech everywhere. Our students dig deep into understanding technology.
I went to de Vries for one class. You know that? It was interesting. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Раз, два, три.
That's all they show. I haven't been able to find the video in full. They only give you those few seconds of it. That's pretty high. That's cold. It's cold at 13,000 feet, actually. I have no idea. I mean, he must have been, maybe he's that high. It's got to be higher than that, 13,000 feet. Anyway, crazy. Thank you, Wesley.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Just so you guys understand, the reason this shit happens is because the way we do these shows and this content is not normal. We use tabs on a computer. This computer's been having issues, obviously. It's got some problem going on. It's old. This whole thing moving into a non-profit and making this official is so that we can actually stop doing it this way. It's driving me nuts. And I'm, you know, at the end, I'm at my limits in terms of like piecing shit back together. I'm tired of being the MacGyver production fucking company, you know. It's fun for a while, and then you're like, God damn, I keep running out of paper clips, and I'm tired of building this fucker with paper clips, you know. So I'm just really excited that this is actually happening and coming forth. We're gonna cruise through some quick things because we're running late. The EPA is actually forcing, or the court, not the courts are actually forcing the EPA to protect the environment. I just want to make that clear, that the Environmental Protection Agency is being forced by our legal system to actually protect the environment by enforcing Obama-era rules instead of repealing them, which is what our EPA has been doing. It's a backwards world. Really, really fast. This, what is this, Vermont? Green Mountain Power, I think this is in Vermont. This utility company has figured it out. They're one of the first that I understand that's figured it out. There's my phone. They figured this out like Elon Musk has. And that is, if you want to remain an energy company into the future, you need to actually cement a relationship with your community and the people that you supply energy to and help them become renewable. Help them with community solar and community renewable projects, because that's where it's going. And if you want to be an energy company that is actually taking money in from the maintenance thereof of those things and that relationship, you will quickly turn your business from charging for fuel production to charging for maintenance of the renewable systems that you helped those people put in your community. That's really where businesses that want to survive. So Warren Buffett, everybody sends me that big Warren Buffett, here's how we make Congress do whatever, blah, 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 blah. Warren Buffett, billionaire. Hey, Warren Buffett, you want to stay a billionaire and in the fossil fuel electric industry, you need to stop fossil fueling it and start helping your customers switch over to renewables, or they're going to leave your electric grid and go over to one that actually gives a shit about the environment. That's where this goes, okay? Because if you start a small electric company, which there are these popping up all over the place, and they build grid, they help build that community grid, then we can bypass the fossil fuel grid, and we need to anyway because it's falling apart. It's a piece of shit. Right. So anyway, we don't have time to run this video. It's 2 days in a row I wanted to run this video, but it doesn't matter. There's a video in there on Facebook, the kid that did the Tesla. It's a Tesla video for the car, and it's cute. It's fun. The thing that I didn't understand, didn't remember about them, is they have a trunk in the front. So I thought that was cool. Like a German thing, you know?
Like the Käfer, the Beetle.
Yeah. Which is another thing I was thinking of. The whole car. We could have a people's car, a people's electric car. We should. In this day and era, our government should just subsidize a fucking vehicle that goes on electric grid, and we just go around with it. That's I truly believe. I know the auto industry is like, yeah, it's really where we should be. Don't have time for the fucking horoscope. Is that it? Just the, I don't have time. I feel so rushed because there's so much going on. I had this big, like, deep ending. I still do. Just this ending. What's going on? Let's put it this way: horoscopes and fortune cookies, quantum entanglement. Right? There's actually ties here with all these things, whether you believe in any of them. Although quantum entanglement, you have no choice, and science doesn't give a shit whether you believe. These things make sense, though, in the light of what we're now understanding about quantum physics, the quantum world. Quantum entanglement means that two particles affect each other at ridiculous distances. And we don't know when those effects take place, because we've also learned that these changes occur faster than the speed of light, and changes can sometimes preempt the causes that made them happen. In other words, time is not linear. We've learned that as well in the quantum world, or can be moved through like space-time. So we're learning that this idea of a horoscope being representative of anything that might be going down is not so far off. Or even the idea of a fortune cookie is not so far off when you realize that quantum entanglement means the fortune cookie you pick up could have been pre-decided, or could be decided a few days from now and affect that cookie now. There's also, I mean, there's all sorts of ways quantum entanglement can be represented in the metaphysical world, right? And I think that's what's so amazing, is we're on the brink of bridging these connectivities. We don't understand right now in the terms of quantum entanglement. We're about where Darwin was with the human cell. It's there. That's the smallest unit we can see. Whatever's going on in there, that's life. Right? Today, we can now see the proteins actually doing the work and building the little things that move around. You know, remember that, studying the cell, and there's all that shit going around in the cell. It's like, holy fuck, Darwin couldn't see any of that stuff. And right now with quantum entanglement, all we can see is that two separate particles across long distances can affect each other. And we don't know what particles of ours are attached to what particles of whatever else. And I tie this into what the pseudo-intellectuals were talking about, which was the ability of reincarnation, which really is quantum entanglement, just carried through without time being a function of linearness, right? So maybe monks, maybe the Buddhist monks have figured out how to organize their quantum entanglements, or figure out where they go, or, you know, who knows? We're in an interesting time right now where we really are learning the power of being connected and discovering so much about each other, because we are doing this across the globe. Finding common causes, whether you're in Germany or in France or in my garage. And just a couple lines that really kill it for me. We are connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, and to the rest of the universe atomically, said Neil deGrasse Tyson. But we have to understand what those things mean in order to apply them to our lives at some base level. Next slide. This line, though, is why I smile. I think nature's imagination is so much greater than man's. She's never going to let us relax. Richard Feynman. Damn straight. That's the point of being alive. We should be focused on the amazing nature of nature. And he's not just talking the earth. We're talking the universe. That's our playground. Once we stop knuckle dragging around this rock and killing each other for stupid reasons. It's like, we're right there on the edge of that. If we can just get there. And with everything going on today, right now around this becoming more real, and the events coming up, and the energy that's flowing around, it just feels like this is a big surge in the right direction. Go to the video. Thank you all for being here and staying with us through all of this shit. It looks like we're gonna fly this. Looks like we're gonna come through into something else. It's a big change. And just for silly, my horoscope that Laura Livengood dropped in from whoever she gets her horoscopes, talks about a lot of this stuff. In other words, I could read that horoscope, and in understanding what it says and applying meaning to it in my own life, maybe I'm already affecting the quantum entanglements that'll help it come true. Marcus, Dennis, thank you guys for being here today.
Thank you for having us, John. And we see us tomorrow. And tomorrow, unfortunately, we are tomorrow without Katie for our 9 hours ahead segment, because she is on holidays and has some serious family stuff to do, and she'll return in September. And until then, Dennis and I will do the 9 hours ahead together as a duo. Yeah. And tomorrow we will direct our views to Africa and to Tunisia and what's going on there.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, guys. So we've got the EU 9 hours ahead report tomorrow. We've got the event on the 12th that I can't even tell you more about it at this point. It's an event on the 12th. We have the 21st. And we have We the People coming up in 2 weeks, assuming it's not too hot here. Thank you all for being with us. We will see you tomorrow on Awake. And then starting next week, we will not be doing a Wednesday Awake anymore. I need more time to deal with harvest and other shit going down around here and building this network and everything, getting ready for the big events. We'll be killing another day of it. Sorry, guys. But it opens up more time to do other things. Like I'm really wanting to add another We the People, maybe at a different time. We the People have lunch. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, Steve Collins, thank you for being here, sir, and doing all that you do.
Yeah, thank you, Stevie.
Thank you.
He doesn't even want to come and show.
Thanks, Steve.
Huh?
No, I don't. I can't. I have to pull that. There's the Steve. I gotta give it the Steve cam.
Yeah, give us the Stevie cam.
Steve, hang on.
Here we go.
There's Steve cam right there.
Yeah.
And just being able to do that makes us feel like it's more of a real studio. Until you realize that we're in my garage. Lunch with Bernie Kratz. I like that, Melissa. I like that a lot because it's like lunch with
cool.
Bernie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. All right.
Cool.
Well, thank you guys so much. So we're going out of course we're going out of here with Symphony of Science, one of my favorite tunes ever. And to me, I mean, this if you were going to replace the national anthem with something that sounded more globally patriotic, it'd be this.
Good choice.
National anthem for the globe. Peace, everybody. Get to work in your town.
Bye.
We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically.
I think nature's imagination is so much greater than man's. He's never gonna let us relax.
We live in an in-between universe where things change alright, but according to patterns, rules, or as we call them, laws of nature.
I'm this guy standing on a planet. Really, I'm just a speck. Compared with a star. The planet is just another speck. To think about all of this, to think about the vast emptiness of space. There's billions and billions of stars, billions and billions of specks.
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
Across the sea of space, the stars are others. We have traveled this way before, and there is much to be learned.
We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically.
I find it elevating and exhilarating to discover that we live in a universe which permits the evolution of molecular machines as intricate and subtle as we.
I know that the molecules in my body are traceable to phenomena in the cosmos. That makes me want to grab people in the street and say, have you heard this?
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together.
Which is the light bouncing around the room, going from one thing to the other, and it's all really there, really.
That go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
Across the sea of space, the stars are others, and we have traveled this way before, and there is much to be learned.